What we're doing today is factoring completely. We'll have an equal sign for this. And answers will be a one-digit value. So we're going to be doing the same process, and then we're just going to take it one step further. So we're still going to get to this point, and then we're going to do something extra with these quantities. So the really hard part you already know how to do. It's just now how do we take that and use it to then graph, which everybody loves to graph, right? We love those coordinate planes. Did anybody see Sonic 2? Is that something any of you guys would go see?
Yeah, I saw it.
You saw it? It actually wasn't terrible.
It wasn't bad.
I thought it was going to be miserable, and I found it not miserable. Eden, did you see it? Did you like it? It was pretty good. I have a favorite part. We'll talk later. I don't want to ruin it for anybody. But I have a favorite, situation. Did you see it? Yeah. Yeah. It came out Thursday night. We went Saturday night. Okay. Okay, so what you guys see here for this example is now we have an equal sign and this 0 over here, right? So we have, up until this point, we've had this, and now we just added on equals 0, okay? So we're going to do the exact same process. What times what will give me the negative 12? What plus what will give me 1, because remember there's a secret 1 hiding in front of this x, right? So I'll let you guys let that simmer, and you can tell me what two numbers fit those requirements. Who's feeling it? Brayden?
4 and negative 3.
4 and negative 3. Great. So now I have x plus 4 and x minus 3. But I'm not done. I would have been done before break, but I'm not done right now. So if you remember, we have this equals 0 up here, right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take each of these quantities and set them equal to 0. So I'm going to have x plus 4 equals 0. X minus 3 equals 0. And then I'm going to solve for x. So it's just a one-step equation. I would subtract 4 from both sides. X equals negative 4. And then add 3 to both sides. X equals 3. So what do those values actually mean? So if you notice up here where we talked about factoring completely, we said it would have an equal sign and answers will be a one-digit value. We have the equal sign and answers are a one-digit value. Okay? So what this means, and all of what we're doing is kind of, it's like one big puzzle we're putting together right now. Okay? So these are our x-intercepts. Okay, so these values are the x-intercepts of a graph. Okay, x-intercept is negative 4, x-intercept is 3, right? what a y-intercept is, right? It's where the line crosses the y-axis. So what's the x-intercept going to be? Where it crosses the x-axis. Okay. Lux, do you want to come up and sit next to Eden?
I'm fine.
You sure? Your squinting tells me differently.
I'm fine. I can sort of see it.
I want you to be able to really see it. How about you come up and sit next to Eden for right now? I don't want you to get a headache.
Do I just need my binder?
Yeah, whatever you're writing in. You can leave everything else where it is. Okay. All right. Perfect. Thank you, sir. So my x-intercepts are -4, 0, and 3, 0. X-intercepts. Right?
Is it -4, 0 because you put that 0 back in, or is it always just 0?
It's always going to be 0 because the ordered pair for an x-intercept will always be something 0. Just like the ordered pair for the y-intercept is always 0 something.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Okay. So bear with me. I'm gonna show you guys something on the board because we're not ready to actually put it in our notes yet. But I do need you guys to see this. I'll just use this space here because I haven't done the graphs yet. So where we're headed with this, so a few days down the road, maybe even a couple weeks because of testing next week. So what this tells me is that I have my coordinate plane. I have my x-axis and my y-axis. So this tells me my x-intercepts are -4 and +3. Okay? Everybody with me?
Yeah.
So ultimately what we're going to be doing, and you'll figure this out as we go along, is we're going to be drawing a parabola. And the only thing we're missing right now is how high and where does our vertex go for this parabola. Okay? So I'm not gonna show you that math right now. I don't want you guys to totally tune me out because you're like, I don't get it. But ultimately, and I'm just gonna tell you, so it's gonna be here and probably about here. So you would find that point and then you would draw a parabola.
Oh.
So that's where we're headed. So the vertex is going to always be exactly halfway between the two x-intercepts, right? So I knew it's going to be right around 1/2 because 3.5, 3.5. I just don't know how high it's going to be. I just guessed on that because I don't have that formula. It's not worth our time right now. But this is where we're headed. So you will factor, you'll find the x-intercepts, then you'll find the vertex, and you draw the parabola.
Does it get harder from here?
Cool?
Yes.
The only thing that gets a little bit harder is that there are going to be polynomial quadratics that you can't do the what plus what minus what, and that's where you learn the quadratic formula.
No.
I'm gonna.
My question was yes.
But listen, I'm gonna teach you a song. You'll memorize it. You'll be fine. Everything's easier with music, right? Okay, so that's where we're headed. But for today, all we're doing is identifying our x-intercepts. So this is when up here at the title, it said zeros and roots. These are the same thing. So this is what is the x-intercept, meaning what goes with the 0, right? What goes with the 0 for the y value, that's why it's called zeros. And these are considered the roots of your parabola because they're on the graph and that's what you go through. So a 0 and a root is the same thing. Yeah? Okay, got this. All right, I'm going to move on to my next paper to do another example. Okay. Here we go. So we're going to ask ourselves, what times what equals negative 15? What plus what equals 2? So who's got it? Who's got it?
Got it.
Braden?
5, -3.
5 and -3. Braden's on it today. So I've got x plus 5 times x minus 3. And then I set those both equal to 0. And so my x-intercepts are going to be negative 5, 0 and 3, 0. I'm going to go ahead and graph those. And then we'll stop right there.